Hi guys, what's up and welcome back to my channel. It's time we speak about Miss Universe India because the registrations are officially open. The registrations for Miss Universe India, which is now owned by Glam and Supermodel India, were supposed to originally start from 1st of April. However, the team seemed to have some technical issues with their website, which is a brand new website. As of 8th of April, the registrations for MUI are now officially open, and we can all take a sigh of relief, but at the same time also start gearing up for what is about to be one of the most interesting pageants in India this year. Now, I will talk about the application process in this video and a bunch of tips for you as well as to what kind of pictures you should submit, what things should you be thinking about at this stage of the competition. The first thing, however, that I do want to share with you is that the deadline for the registrations for Miss Universe India is 31st of May 2024. Now, I have spoken about the eligibility criteria for Miss Universe India in a previous video of mine, which you can see over here. However, to reiterate the criteria one more time, all you have to be is 18 plus years of age. As of 1st January 2024, this part is important to remember because when you calculate your age, you do have to see how old you were as of this date. There is absolutely no height criteria for Miss Universe India this time, which is incredible. And to add to that, the eligibility criteria also allows NRIs and OCI card holders to participate in the competition and also be eligible to win, which means that this time the competition is going to be fierce because not just do we have stunning faces from the country competing, but even those outside of India are going to be competing, and I'm just excited to see what the finale looks like. Now, Nikhil Anand, who is the owner of the Glam Anand group, had previously announced on his social media that there would be a nominal registration fee for Miss Universe India, and the official website now says that the registration fee for the competition is going to be 2,999 rupees plus GST, of course. What do you do next? So in order to apply, you have to put together some paperwork, and what you need for Miss Universe India this time is you do need a government ID proof. Now, a passport is preferred because, of course, if you're going to be competing internationally and you happen to win the national competition, you do need your official passport. If you don't have a valid passport right now, I highly recommend that you apply for one right away as soon as you can. And in the meantime, for the registration of the competition, you can either show your Aadhaar card or your driving license or any other ID. Now, the registration form here also asks for 3 pictures instead of 4 that usually is confused with Femina Miss India. I'm stating the differences because from the kind of response we've been getting on social media, I did observe that a lot of the contestants seem to be confused because both competitions are having the applications happening around the same time. A lot of you are missing the fact that these are 2 entirely different competitions and you have to register for them separately, even though a lot of the things look similar in the application process. So this one only requires 3 pictures. Now, there is no specification as such whether you need to put in a no makeup picture or not. So if I were you and I had to pick 3 pictures to submit for this application, I would be strategic and I would definitely skip out on a no makeup picture because it's a pageant competition after all, and so the more glam and the more makeup the better. However, do make sure that you look like the headshot that you're using to submit here and it's not super retouched to an extent that that doesn't look like you. That's a given rule in any pageant, in fact, for that matter. Now, because the competition that you are aspiring for is Miss Universe, make sure that you're not submitting ethnic wear pictures in any of these application forms. I do have a feeling that that will happen a lot just because the guidelines don't really specify what kind of attire or look they're looking for, and I didn't see any reference pictures on the official website either, but I am giving this as a recommendation. As a pageant coach, I can tell you that if the organization is looking for the potential Miss Universe India candidate, I would in fact go to the extent of in fact getting a bikini photo shoot done or something that is similar to swimwear, which shows your body really well because they will be looking at physique. This is a Miss Universe competition after all. And they will have a swimwear run in the format of the competition. So it would just help if your pictures were also in that attire. Once you have this paperwork ready, you can go on and click on the form that you have to fill out on the website. Now the form asks for your basic details as well as your contact details. Something interesting that I do see on this website is that it asks for your dress size as well as your vital stats. Now this is something that I haven't seen in a pageant application form in a really long time, and I don't know what it indicates towards whether they're looking for specific body types, shapes and sizes, and if they're not, then how does this field even matter, because they do get the pictures of the contestants anyway. So this is just something that seems very traditional and not in alignment with the new standards of inclusivity that Miss Universe as well as Miss Universe India are speaking about. To me personally, it just seems strange when a beauty pageant form asks you to write down your measurements, because as a model, when a modeling agency asks you for those details, I definitely understand why, because you actually have to fit into certain garments. Now, whether this information is being used for clothes that are yet to be designed for pageant contestants, or is it a way of shortlisting and filtering contestants at a competition such as Miss Universe India based on their measurements? Who knows? If you wish to train with me for your upcoming pageant, click on the link in the description box below where you can book a one-on-one coaching session with me. Now, what does the format of the competition look like? If you've been following the official social media handle of Miss Universe India, you would have noticed that there's been a bunch of state directors that have been appointed, which definitely makes the job easier, because a national director alone conducting a pageant with a state format, which is new for Miss Universe India, is going to be one hell of a task. So it's nice that we have state directors, and a lot of previous pageant contestants and pageant owners have taken up the state director position. I do want to address the fact that yes, I have not competed or applied to be any state director, simply because of the fact that I don't feel that I would be able to do justice to a position such as that, sitting all the way here in the USA, and I don't want to get my hands into something else, handling overseas jobs, because I do have a lot on my plate at the moment. I do feel that a lot of people kind of expected me to be the state director for Telangana and Andhra. However, it's just something I'm not interested in at all at the moment. I really enjoy coaching, and being a state director is an entirely different job description, and it just felt that running a pageant is not my cup of tea right now. However, now that we have several state directors, the way the competition is going to work is that once you register, you do have to select which state you're competing from. And so even if you want to compete and audition, say, from 3 states or 4 states, they haven't really specified the maximum number of states that you can compete from or that you are even eligible from. So to me, so far, it just seems that you can apply as many times as possible, provided you can show up to the auditions of those states. The only thing that would stop you from competing in multiple states would be, of course, the registration fee, which means that if you want to compete from 5 states, you would have to pay the registration fee 5 times. So that's obviously something that a contestant is going to decide based on her budget. Now, once you've registered from a specific state for the competition, you will then be redirected to the regional director of that particular state, and you will then get to find out the details of how that state pageant is happening, because the auditions will happen in separate states. And to further ensure that no girl misses out on any opportunity in any situation, just in case there were way too many strong competitive girls from one state alone, there will also be a final round of auditions which you can go for if you felt that you want that one more chance to make a good impression in front of the judges. Something I do want to talk about specifically here is the correlation between the Miss Grand India and the Miss Universe India contestants. Now, this is not something that has been put out by the organization officially yet. However, I hope that they make a proper official announcement about this. What I know is that if you are someone who has registered for Miss Grand India, the registration fee for which is approximately 40,000 rupees, it is being said that the organization is going to be preferring those contestants. Now, of course, I care about all of you guys, and as a pageant coach who believes in transparency in beauty pageants, I did my due diligence, I did my research as to how a preference kind of system is going to work between 2 pageants owned by the exact same organization. And what this means is that if you registered for Miss Grand India, auditioned for it, were interviewed and were selected by the organization, You would not have to re-register for Miss Universe India. However, you would still have to audition, but you would become a state pageant finalist directly. Now, that is something that is Glam Anand's decision to do. So, I do want to see how that affects the contestants that end up being shortlisted for Miss Universe India, because in my experience, Miss India did not ever give a preference to girls coming from Miss Diva or vice versa, simply because of the fact that I have been a part of the live scouting sessions both online and in person, and I've seen that sometimes a competition that happened, say in January, the girl was really performing that day. However, you meet the same girl 6 months later, and sometimes pageant experience takes a toll on a lot of the contestants and they burn out, or maybe it's just not their day, or maybe they have something going on when the second competition is happening. And so I like the fact that the girls from MGI still have to audition for the competition. However, I think it's being done for simply the reason that the registration fee, which would be of 3,000 rupees approximately, maybe that's a financial burden that the organization probably wanted to take off from the contestants. I don't know whether it means that if they wanted to compete in multiple states, would they waive off all of those registration processes for the finalist, or how exactly it's going to work. I hope that the organization puts out an official statement regarding this so that everyone can be aware of such a system being in place. The official website also talks about the Miss Universe India press conference that will happen in the second week of May, as the Miss Universe organization will be visiting. I am really curious and interested to see as to what that press conference is going to look like, if we're going to be hearing any other major announcements, and also perhaps the date for when the finale is happening. We're really looking forward to that, because as of now, all that we know is that the state auditions and state pageants are going to be happening in the month of June and July. However, the date for the finale of Miss Universe India is something that hasn't been put out yet, and I hope that it's not me who missed out on that information. The reason I say this is because Miss Universe India's social media page, being such a new page, is yet to reach that many people. And I speak this from personal experience, because even as someone who is so deeply invested in this field and is obviously keeping an eye out on all major announcements related to this pageant, still I am not able to sometimes find the posts related to the organization, and something seems to be going on with the social media handle, in the sense that some of the posts that were posted are sometimes deleted, or at least I'm not able to view them, and the same thing is happening to a bunch of us. And so I think that it has something to do with just the fact that it's a brand new account, and the more people start following and engaging with their posts, probably their posts are going to start reaching a lot more people, because I feel that even though the brand awareness for Miss Universe India, the title exists, as an organization with a brand new website and a brand new official Instagram page, the pageant still needs some time to be relevant in terms of statistics on social media, to the extent that everybody knows about it as soon as they post it. I feel like that awareness and that fire isn't there yet, which is why in fact at Concord we are reposting a lot of the announcements related to Miss Universe India, because we feel that a lot of the word is spreading faster through coaching institutes and state directors rather than from the official organization page itself. If you've been watching the Miss Universe India page as closely as I have, you would have also seen the Beauty High Academy, which seems to be a new initiative by the Glam Anand group, which to me looks like some sort of training academy, but they haven't really put out any official information yet about who the team is and what their course structures look like. However, we do know that this is not a mandatory training that contestants have to take from Glam Anand alone. It's very different from the kind of course included in the registration fee that we see over at Femina Miss India. This is more like an optional training program, and it seems like a new pillar of business started by Glam Anand, which to me seems as if they're also trying to expand into the pageant coaching arena as well. Now, I have my thoughts on this topic as well, because again, I do want to talk about the transparency of beauty pageants, and it's something I will cover in a separate video in detail and share my thoughts on. But for now, I'm going to keep an eye on how the pageant unravels. It's an entirely new team and organization doing this for the very first time, and I am equally curious as well as equally excited to see how Glam Anand conducts Miss Universe India this year. If you felt that the audio of this video was a little off compared to my other YouTube videos, it's because this mic ran out of battery in the first 2 minutes of this video, and I just realized that that had happened. And so forgive me for the slightly questionable audio quality of this video, but I hope that I was able to put my thoughts across in the best way possible. So that is all the information regarding the application process of Miss Universe India, as well as my tips, suggestions, and thoughts on the overall pageant as of now. If you have any questions related to Miss Universe India that I can help you answer, please drop your queries in the comment section below. Also, subscribe to my channel and give this video a big thumbs up. I wish all the Miss Universe India aspirants the very best of luck. And with that being said, I love you guys so much, and I will see you very soon in my next video. Bye.